Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday night, and that means one thing. We are here live with the Diehard Racing League's Automated Office Technologies Truck Series. Tonight, we are at the beautiful Autoclub Speedway in Fontana, California. Tonight, we will be doing 100 laps around this track, and judging by the way practice has been going, we've seen some really good driving here. Now, I know personally last night, me and a couple of the guys from the league put up a test room, and I did a full fuel run. You can max out at about 48 laps, and that's literally cutting it almost on the border of running on hopes and dreams, and the tires definitely wearing, seeing how this is night. Let's see. I believe I ran 47, 48 laps on the tank of gas, and by the time I was done, my tires were, my right front was down to 73%. The tires were almost to the point of melting the bead, and throughout the run, I lost about 2.5 seconds. So if that's any indication as to what, like, I heard from some of the other drivers, we're going to see a very noticeable fall off as the run progresses tonight. Since it's nighttime, there's grip for days in turns 1 and 2, but as these trucks start to wear in, you start losing that grip, and you still have it in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 is really going to be the nemesis once you're on older tires, because that truck is just going to want to push right up to the outside wall. But other than that, we've got just over 7 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Now, for those of you who don't know, the only time we ever run closed qualifying in this league is on plate tracks. Every other race is open qual, so that's why you see more than one truck. But tonight, I'm really looking forward to this race. I think we'll see a lot of great three-wide racing here, because you can definitely pull it off here at Fontana. There's plenty of room to do it. It's just going to come down to strategy. That's going to be the big key tonight. And I believe, I think a two-stop is going to be the best option to do it if it stays green flag. Busting up into threes, you're going to be sacrificing too much track position, but a two-stop is totally plausible. But on the end of that run, you're going to be begging for new tires. Right now we see the 97 of Cameron Hearn. He's currently holding our pole right now, but things will change as open qualifying kind of leaves it open, especially with this track being as big as it is. We can definitely see the draft in play tonight. So right now Cameron is on the pole with a 39.943. Robert Barris right now sitting in second, and Ralph Vandervorst in third. Just outside of that, we have Chris Ostrander in fourth, Adam Nowinski fifth, Seth Schultz sixth, Brad Spittle seventh, Caleb Thompson eighth, Josue Tellis ninth, and Cuddy Franklin 10th. But we still do have just under 5 minutes here, so the top spot is still anybody's to claim as long as you can get behind a truck, get some air, get that draft lap in there, and nail your corners. Literally anybody can still take the pole. But right now, Cameron Hearn is still sitting on top of the board. As we can see, Robert is 600ths slower. But look, I wouldn't be surprised to see that 75 possibly make it to the top. But we all know that the 97 is very, very fast. So we have two of the quicker guys right there in the first two spots. We see the 75 right there, tucking in behind the 76, and then in front of him the 77. So look at this, we're going in backwards numerical order. And that's exactly what Robert wanted. Now he's got the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst in front of him, so Robert can pick up some of the draft there and hopefully capitalize off of it. We're coming down to the 2-minute warning now here in qualifying. As of right now, it does not appear anybody has anything for the 97 truck of Cameron Hearn, as he is still sitting on pole with 2 minutes to go here in open qualifying. See the 68 of James Brown there. He is the title series sponsor, as he is driving the Automated Office Technologies truck. That is one of my paint schemes, one of 4 that is in the field tonight. I believe it's the we have the 68 of James Brown running one of my paint jobs, the 77 of Seth Schultz, the 28 of Evan Nowinski, and the 42 of William Ruin. So if any of those drivers tear up their trucks tonight, we know one thing: I will be busy in the body shop tomorrow. But as qualifying rolls to an end, we are going to bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band to present our nation's colors and our national anthem. So at this time, please rise, remove your hats, and here we go, folks. All right, tonight's starting grid on pole, the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Starting outside in second will be the 75 of Robert Barris. Ralph Vandervorst will roll off third tonight. James Brown in the 68 will start fourth. Starting fifth tonight, we have the 73 of Chris Ostrander. Adam Lewinski will roll off sixth. Joshua Jones seventh. The 77 of Seth Schultz in seventh. That's a lot of S's right there. Cody Franklin in the 17 will roll off ninth, and Brad Speidel will round out the top 10 here. Caleb Thompson will start 11th. Josue Tellis will roll off 12th. Douglas Hess 13th. William Rulin in the brand newly painted Drink Wisconsin Silverado will start 14th tonight. Corey Brown will start 15th. Rodney Kramer 16th. Michael Tant 17th. Avery McDonald 18th, and William Morris Jr. will round out the field in 19th. So as we are getting ready here, we will get this field ready to go. The pace car will get out on track, and we will get our pace lap underway. Green flag drop, and 100 laps of action here at Fontana. Alan, how do you think it's going to play out tonight?
You know, I don't want to jinx it. I hope it goes well. I mean, you got 5 grooves here at racing. If these guys can actually get their trucks in line and find a place to go with them without running into another truck, then we'll be all right.
Well, me and Mike kind of made a prediction, and usually we're pretty darn good with our predictions. So we said probably 1 to 2 cautions early on in the race, but then green flag the rest of the way. So as we've seen, these trucks on fresh tires, everybody's Superman because you can pretty much drive the truck anywhere you want. It's going to stick. But after 2 or 3 laps of doing that wide open, you're definitely going to see who's going to save and who's going to burn their junk up, as James Brown would say. So it's definitely going to come down to strategy tonight, and tire management is key. It's not really going to be fuel dependent. It's going to be more of a tire race. So on the short run, we're going to see who's good there, but it's really going to come down to who's going to be good on the long run. As the pace car makes its way into turn 4, Brett Bedine is going to drive that sucker down pit road, and Cameron Hearn's going to lead us into the restart boxes. We got a great shot of it here, as we can see the flagman not holding his flag. Maybe he dropped it, but green flag is out. We are live here at Autoclub, Diehard Racing League Automated Office Technologies Truck Series. You see on the outside line, Robert Barris has wasted no time. He wants to go to the front. And we've got a caution on the track. Looks like that's the 6 of Rodney Kramer, so we're going to go ahead and back it up and see what happened there. See what happens. This is on the initial start of the race here. Keep your eye on the 6 truck. See exactly what unfolded here. Looks like, oh, Rodney just made a little contact with the 42, and then Rodney went for a wild ride there. Looks like, no, he's able to refire it, so that's a good thing. I know that truck's probably got some heavy damage, but it looks like the hardest of it was the rear end. But I don't know if that was net code or if he just actually got up there and made a little bit of contact. As we can see, iRacing has still not fixed the fender damage issue. All you'll see is hood damage, so we can't exactly give you an accurate description on how tore up that 6 truck is, but we know that it does have some front end damage. We see a little bit of pit faking going on. 68 of James Brown's going to go down. The 24 of Josue Tellis, the 4 of Caleb Thompson. But right now, up front, the front three is still running in the exact same order. Chris Ostrander has made his way up to 4th, and Alan Winsky to 5th, Seth Schultz to 6th, Joshua Jones to 7th, Brad Speidel to 8th, Cody Franklin 9th, and Avery McDonald 10th, it looks like, after pits there. And it appears that we had a wreck on pit road, so we're going to try and take a look and see what happened there. This is under caution here, so watch the 23 truck. It's that multicolored one there. See everybody's filtering down. We have the 24 of Hostway, the 4 of Caleb, the 31 of Douglas Heston. We have the 23 of Corey Brown, 42 of William Rulon. Let's see what happens here. Looks like Corey's scrubbing his tires on pit road. And it looks like he just missed his stall from scrubbing tires, which blocks the 42. So that's going to be costly for the 42 of William Rulon, but why would you be scrubbing your tires on pit road? Lights on the pace car are out, so we will restart this race on lap 5. So if prediction stays true, we've already used one of the 2 cautions that me and Mike predicted early on. And for those of you who aren't too familiar with Mike, he is the tower officiator, so he is the one that hands out penalties and whatnot that needs to be done when there are cautions on the track, because we have done away with the incident cap now because it was hurting drivers who were not, they were collateral in the wrecks. So the incident limit has been lifted. However, now if you bring out 3 cautions, you are done for the night. You will get a DNF. So the rules are much more simplified now, so it won't affect those who are getting incidences from wrecks that aren't initiated by them. So now it levels the playing field. So if you bring out 3 cautions, you're done for the night. As once again,
Judge, jury, and executioner now?
yes, he is. Brett Bodine's going to make his way back down pit road, and Cameron Hearn's going to bring us back into the box. Race will restart here on lap 5. Got a good jump there by the 97. Green flag is out. We are back live racing. Looks like the 4 of Caleb Thompson might have got a little piece of the wall there, not sure. I did see some, it was either sparks or it was rocks flying, but nonetheless, looks like everybody's kind of trying to pull things out, although we do see the 73 of Chris Ostrander. He's going to try and make the move on the outside of Ralph Vandervorst, but directly behind Ralph is the 77 of Seth Schultz. And Seth is going to look to the inside going into 1. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Nope. Chris is going to be smart, and he's going to stay there and work the bottom line and try and make the pass on the bottom of the 3. battle for 6th. Adam Nowinski right now is currently holding onto the 6th spot. As you can see the field coming out of 2 onto the backstretch here. Now, it may appear that these trucks are dancing around. That's not due to steering. This track is very, very abrasive. So, the backstretch in particular, as we see Cameron Hearn get a piece of the wall there. Looks like the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst got a little piece of the back end of that. That's going to inherit the lead over to the 75 of Robert Barris, which now we see the 77 of Seth Schultz. He's going to dive it down in there to take over the 2nd spot. We still see the 73 of Chris Ostrander in that Bud Light Toyota as he's trying to work over the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst. Looks like Cameron did a nice recovery there. He only dropped back to 5th spot after that, but like I said, the exit off of 3 and 4, the truck definitely does get aero tight, especially if you're behind somebody, but you can also get the air if you have a truck close enough behind you where the air will actually get taken off of your spoiler and you will get extremely aero tight coming out of that corner, which might have been what happened there, but we can see that it hasn't severely affected the 97 as he is still up there in the top 10, but it has allowed Robert Barris to jump out to almost a 7/10 lead over the field right now as we're coming to 10 laps in. You know what, Alan? Seeing how we've got the box cams, you know what it's time for?
I would say it would be time for crank it up. Oh no, we don't have a crank it up, huh? That's unfortunate.
All right, you guys got to see that amazing, I think, what were they, 5 wide there coming out of turn 4 onto the banked front stretch? Right now we see the battle for 10th spot that is currently being held by the 4 truck of Caleb Thompson. You see the 68 of James Brown. He's trying to look underneath as he's going to try and stick it under there as they come out of turn 2.
He does get his nose under there. He's alongside of that 4 truck of Caleb Thompson.
And James Brown's going to make the pass. Hey, we were in stereo. That was pretty cool. we're continuing to see the number 3 of Ralph Vandervoort do a backslide here. He is currently in 11th. He's now going to lose more spots as he gets the wall there out of 4. Let's see where he scores this time by at the stripe. That's going to be a little bit costly. It's going to drop him down to 15th position. But out front, it is still the 75 of Robert Barris with an 8/10 of a second lead over second place of Seth Schultz. We're still watching that 10th place battle as Caleb Thompson was going to try and dive under the 68 of James Brown, but James right now has his sights set on the 76 of Joshua Jones. Oh yeah. That made everybody scatter, and I believe that was the 24 of Jose Teles that got the wall there.
Yeah, the 76, he tried to go down low on the truck in front of him there and just ran out of room, had to check way up really hard, and James checked up before Caleb Thompson had nowhere to go, just feed the back end of that truck.
No, luckily we are not at a track that is super aero dependent. It is a little bit here, but you gotta wonder though, as hard as Caleb hit the rear of the 68, if that did any damage motor-wise to the 4 truck.
Yeah, it definitely could have punched that car out a little pretty good up in the air. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, on another note, the top speed of the race so far is being held by Seth Schultz at 189.1. So these trucks are clicking off laps pretty decent.
Thanks to iRacing issue of giving us this crap where we can't see fender damage, we can't take a look at the Ford truck to see just exactly how much nose damage there is to it, because unfortunately whatever they did in their last build, they screwed something up, and we do not see any fender damage on broadcast or when you're racing. You don't get to see any of it anymore for some reason, and it's just specifically on the Camping World Truck Series. You could race the Xfinity Series or the Monster Energy Cup cars, and you'll see damage all the way around. But for some weird reason, these trucks, they screwed something up when they updated them, and we weren't able to see any damage other than hood damage. So I think James isn't doing too bad. He's right now in 9th spot as the 76 of Joshua Jones is making the move, but we got Michael Tant on the inside to make it 3 wide here as they come to take the stripe here for lap 20. Now I think we're going to see a little bit of that damage possibly coming into play there with the 68 as he has dropped back to, well, he's only dropped to 9th, but we see the 31 of Douglas Hess, the 4 of Caleb Thompson, the 50 of Michael Tant, and the 17 of Cody Franklin behind James. Out front, it's still Robert Barris with now a 1.5 second lead over second place, 77 of Seth Schultz. Cameron Hearn has made his way back up to 3rd. Chris Ostrander is sitting in 4th, and Brad Speidel is going to round out the top 5. Looking a little bit further back, we have Adam Nowinski in 6th, Avery McDonald 7th, Joshua Jones 8th, James Brown 9th, and the 31 of Douglas Hess will round out the top 10 as we have 22 laps in the books. Biggest mover tonight so far of the race is the 29 of Avery McDonald. He is charging through the field. As right now we see him on the outside of the 76 of Joshua Jones. Couldn't make it work as the truck got a little tight there. That's going to open up the door for the 68 of James Brown and the 31 of Douglas Hess.
And as it stands right now, Ralph Vandervorst in that number 3 car, he's our biggest loser so far at this point. He started 3rd, he is all the way back to 15th.
As we are a couple laps shy of a quarter of the way through here already, we get a good look there at the 31 of Douglas Hess. As Cameron Hearn has taken over 2nd spot from the 77. He has now moved up, but he still has a 2-second deficit over our current race leader, the 75 of Robert Barris.
As our biggest mover, the 29 there, he is dropping spots like a rock. He's moving towards the back of the field. I don't know if there's something wrong with the truck or if he just plain overdrove it.
As we see the 4 of Caleb Thompson having to chug up big time with the 17 of Cody Franklin. That could have gotten ugly there, but Caleb was able to get on the binders and slow down that number 4 to avoid the contact. But that is going to open up the outside lane for the 50 of Michael Tant to try and get around the 4. Don't really think that outside line off of 1 and 2 is really where you want to be yet, but we can see that he has been able to pinch Caleb down to the bottom. Meanwhile, we see the 5 of Brad Speidel. He's trying to work his way around the 73 of Chris Ostrander to get up to 4th spot. Meanwhile, we got a power move going on here. We got the 5 of Brad Speidel and the 73 of Chris Ostrander both trying to make a move on the 77. As we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer, he's back out on track. Good to see that back as we see Brad is able to make the slide up. That'll move Brad up to 3rd spot right now as he still has the 73 behind him, but now Brad's going to go up to the high side. That's going to leave the door open for the 73 as they come into turn 1 and 2. And I do believe that Chris is going to make the pass on Seth as he does as they come out of 2. So that'll shuffle Seth back to 5th spot. So our new top 5 will be Robert Barris out front, Cameron Hearn 2nd, Brad Speidel 3rd, Chris Ostrander 4th, and Seth Schultz 5th.
Yeah, I was watching that fairly close as Seth was coming out of that corner there. And it almost seemed like he checked up pretty hard to allow Ostrander to slide back up in front of him, as it looked like Ostrander was going to lose it out of control sliding up the track. So Seth kind of gave him a little bit of extra room there.
Well, it's like I preached in the pre-race show. Tonight, it's going to be all about tire management. We're 29 laps in, and I'm pretty sure that the 73 did not, well, I know for a fact the 73 did not come down pit road during our first caution. So, as they're now getting around 30 laps on their tires, right now is the point, they're past the tipping point on where the tires are going to grab and where they're going to not grab anymore, and all it takes is missing your mark going into the corner or driving in just a little too hot now with those 30 lap old tires. We're going to start seeing a lot of trucks pushing up, especially out of 3 and 4, but we'll also see it in 1 and 2. Now, the only other danger that we'll see too is if you get too low and you snatch a little, just the tiniest piece of that apron coming out of 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and that's enough to, more than enough to send the truck around. Right now we see the 68 of James Brown. He has made his way back up to 7th. As we see the 77 of Seth Schultz, he is down on pit road. So green flag pit stops underway.
All right, that 77's in the box. The right sides are up in the air. And they'll take left sides as well and fuel. He's down and away with a 14.5.
So we have the 31 of Douglas Hess making his way down pit road as well. See, all it takes here during green flag racing is for the first truck to go down, and then usually pit road gets flooded by the masses. Everybody's just driving around waiting to see who's going to pit first, but right now I would have stretched it out to probably 35 laps.
73 is in, out, down and away with 14.9, so that'll be a 4-tire stop. As well as Douglas Hess, he come in and nailed a 13.6 on a 4-tire stop.
Yeah, I highly doubt we'll see any 2-tire stops tonight. This track absolutely destroys the right sides, but it also does get the left rear very, very hot. I believe when I did my long run in the practice race that we did last night, that my right front was the hottest tire, followed by my left rear, which is typically the way it goes. So I highly doubt, unless we get a late race caution and somebody just pitted and they're going to do it for strategy, I don't think we'll see any 2-tire stops.
Brown on and off pit road is 15.1.
We got more coming down pit road, so as they make their way into the stalls, Alan will call them out.
That will be the 5 of Brad Speidel and the 75 of Robert Buris.
Which right now, that will hand the lead over to the 97. As it stands right now, our top 5, your current race leader, the 90s, things are going to change now. That time by at the stripe, our race leader will be the 17 of Cuddy Franklin, Michael Tant 2nd, Caleb Thompson 3rd, Joshua Jones 4th, and Avery McDonald 5th.
Robert came down through, he got 4 tires of fuel with a 14.7. Brad Speidel in the 5, he comes down with a 15.4.
Now right here is right about where I'd be pitting.
The 97's down, 54 tires fuel, he's down and out. The 28 of Adam Nowinski, 14.7, he's on his way back out on track.
17 coming down pit road as well as another truck, so there's more influx here coming down pit road as we're working lap 36.
Looks like we got the 17 and the 76 down on pit road. Left side's going on the 17. He's down and away. And that'll give him a 15.5. The 76, Joshua Jones, is down with a 16.5. Avery McDonald pulls a 14.4, and they'll be headed right back over the track.
So that will shake the running order up right now. Your current race leader is the 4, Caleb Thompson, Michael Tant second, Josue Tellez third, William Ruland fourth, and the 77 of Seth Schultz will round out the top 5.
And that is a well, maybe it's not a full cycle, as we got the 4 of Caleb Thompson coming down now. Okay, so these are our last 2 pitters down. Okay, well, we got the 4 of Caleb Thompson coming down pit road now, and we have one other vehicle out on the track, the 50 of Michael Tant.
I do believe, though, that he did pit under the first caution, so he does have a little bit of an arm up over some of the most of the field that stayed out, so I think he does have a couple extra laps he can run, plus he wants to get that bonus point for leading the lap. This is why I think we saw a lot of them.
Caleb's down and away with 15.5, 4 tires and fuel.
You see the 75 of Robert Barris right now. He is our 5th place truck. Directly behind him, the 97 of Cameron Hearn, followed by the 73 of Chris Ostrander. Behind him, the 5 of Bad Brad Speidel.
As the 50 of Michael Tant is down.
That will inherit the lead over to the number 24 of Patrick Host Swayze.
And he is down and away with a 13.4. I'm going to say he didn't take a windshield tear off, and he may not have got that car packed full of fuel.
Now, if there's one thing that we know about Autoclub, it's that it's famous for, especially with our league, long green flag runs. Here, Michigan, Chicagoland, as last season we saw with the K&N car, we ran green flag all the way at Michigan, all the way at Chicagoland. Last truck race that we had here, we ran green flag the entire way, and it was during the day, so even less grip, and it was extremely loose off of turn 2. Right now, it's nice out tonight. Let's go ahead and get a quick little pop-up here. The weather, it's nice, 78 degrees, 55% relative humidity, partly cloudy. Track temp is, apparently it doesn't want to show me the track temp, which I know it's not 78. Really? Wow, so we actually have the track temp the same as the air temp for once. As you can see, that humidity is definitely making its way, as we can see it there in the track lighting. So it's definitely a nice, cool April night here in California, which is odd because it's usually pretty damn hot already by this time of year. So right now out front, it is still Josue Tellis with an 8-second lead over second place, the 77 of Seth Schultz. Cameron Hearn in the 97 right there. We can see is our third place car. Robert Barris in the 75 is our fourth place. Chris Ostrander fifth and Brad Speidel sixth. Douglas Hess will come in seventh right now. Adam Nowinski eighth. James Brown ninth. And Cody Franklin in the 17 is going to round out our top 10 as we are working on lap 44. So right now it looks like that liquid moly in the 24 truck is paying off as he has got a 6-second lead, but we see that that time is shrinking.
As you can see, in the corners there, the track is starting to rubber in that low groove. It's starting to turn dark right down there where the trucks are running, and then as it washes out to the outside of the corner.
That's going to be good on the short run.
I think down low on the 75, Robert, I don't know if he's going to have enough to keep him off. He's going to try.
Well, see, that's the thing right there. It's so hard to make the pass on the bottom side once the track starts to get rubber in. It seems that at least the above the first seam and higher is where you want to make the pass, but you don't want to go too high and have the truck wash up into the wall. As now we see the 73 has been able to close the gap. We're going to see what Brad is going to do here now. Oh, looks like a little bit of contact there between the 5 and the 75 going into the corner, but nothing happened of it.
As the 5 is going to make another run.
Once again, Brad could not make the move. We see he's got the speed, but right now I think Robert's in conserve mode. So I think we'll see Robert let Brad by just so Brad can get past as he does so right now in turn 2. As I said earlier, this is definitely going to be a strategy race, and I think you nailed it right on the head, Alan, that we're just seeing the 5s driving a little bit harder than the 75 right now. So the smartest move is we see the 73 is also going to get around the 75 as we see, I believe that's the 42 off pace out of 4. That is. And it appears that the 6 of Rodney Kramer has throughput, which, those of you who don't know what that means, it's an issue when you have a bad server connection to iRacing. It'll drop you out of the server. So that's unfortunate for the 6, as we saw he was involved in the first cautions. We see the 24, Josue Tells, down on pit road. So with the 24 down on pit road, that'll cycle the lead back over to the 97, the Cameron Hearn. 77, the Seth Schultz. Second, Brad Speidel in the 5. Third, Chris Ostrander. Fourth, Robert Barris. Fifth, Adam Nowinski. Sixth, Douglas Hess. Seventh, James Brown. Eighth, Caleb Thompson. Ninth, and Cody Franklin will round out the top 10.
And with the 24 coming down pit road, this will finally end green flag pit stops. as they will be starting again in probably another 20 laps.
Now I definitely know there was more than liquid moly in that gas tank. He made it a lap longer than I did on a full fuel run. I was only able to turn 48, although I did have enough fuel. As we see the 5 of Brad Spottle, he's trying to make the move on the 77. He had to check up there to avoid making contact.
I'm not sure what's going on with Postway right now. It says he's got a 25.2 pit stop time, but his truck is not moving.
It's that liquid moly. It'll do it every time. So right now Cameron Hearn has a 1.3 second lead over second spot, but right now it is under fire by the 5 of Brad Spidle as they race their way down into turn 3. So Brad's going to make the pass. That'll move the 5 truck up to second and the 77 back to third. Meanwhile, we've got a race going on for fourth spot as we see the 75 of Robert Barris trying to make the pass on the inside of the 73 of Chris Ostrander as they go into one here as we are nearing my favorite part of the race when we go from counting the laps up to counting the laps down.
So just an update on the is now being scored 2 laps down because he spent 71.7 seconds on pit road.
Almost makes you wonder if he had some damage that he was repairing. Well, once again, thanks to iRacing, we wouldn't be able to see it if it was any fender damage. So 71 seconds on there, that definitely would indicate that he either had some significant sheet metal damage or he might have had a little bit of suspension damage. As now we are 47 laps to go here at Auto Club. As Alan mentioned, we should be only less than 20 laps away from our next set of green flag pit stops.
I'm not sure if I was in Joswe's position if I'd have taken that repair. I think I'd have just grabbed my 4 tires of fuel because I was out there holding my own out front. So, geez, I don't know. That's a hard call.
I was looking at the gap between, and it was starting to shrink pretty rapidly. And I don't know. I think that if the way things shake out, I know he's not going to have enough fuel to make it to the end without stopping again. He will be short probably 5 laps of fuel. So, I don't know. I mean, we've seen that he's very consistent. He's won, I believe he won in, did he win the Can-Am or did he actually win in the Truck Series? I know he had 3 of his best finishes last season in the Can-Am. I believe he got a win in the Can-Ams.
Yeah, that was last season. My brain doesn't function past next weekend.
Yeah, mine doesn't either, unfortunately. That's the byproduct of getting old. Right now we see the 5 of Brad Spidle is trying to challenge for the lead. He's going to take it. So hand the lead over to the 5 of Brad Spidle. Now we see the 75 of Robert Barris. He's going to try and make his way around the 77. That'll put him up to 3rd spot. You know, Alan, I'm still not used to seeing these trucks actually kind of rounded now. The Chevys have always been that extremely boxy looking truck, but after Dirt came out and they updated the Silverado model, you can actually see that there is some curvature to the nose of those trucks. It's just something I'm still having to get used to.
Just think of that truck as a good woman, all the curves in the right places.
As we see the 31 of Douglas Hess has made his way off of pit road, so I do believe we're seeing green flag pit stops starting to happen once again here, as we will be taking 42 laps to go this time by. Right now, Brad has a 1 second lead over second place 97 of Cameron Hearn. As we see the 75 of Robert Barris sitting in third spot right now. We all know Robert is the master strategizer here, so I think him allowing the trucks to go by at first was definitely right in his playbook. As we take a look now at 8th place, that is the 17 of Cody Franklin. Behind him, we have the 50 of Michael Tant and the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Props there to the 17 of Cody Franklin. Not only did he also throw in some money to the league for the luck of the draw with the salute to our local heroes, as you can see there in the upper right corner, but he is also rocking the Diehard Live TV on both the quarter panels and the deck lid of that truck, as well as a few other trucks in the league. So we see the 68 of James Brown. Looks like he got that wedgie picked out. His rear end looks good and straight now. Looks like Cameron Hearn is making his way down pit road as he has dropped out of the top 3. So we'll see what his times are. That will give second spot over to the 75 of Robert Barris. 77 of Seth Schultz will move up to third. Adam Nowinski in the 28, fourth, and James Brown in the 68 will be our 5th place truck. Cody Franklin in the 17, we can see right there. He is holding down the 6th spot, and the 50 of Michael Tant there in 7th. Caleb Thompson in the 4 is in 8th. Avery McDonald 9th, and Joshua Jones will round out the top 10. So right there we see the battle for 9th position between Avery McDonald and Joshua Jones. And it appears that our race lead has now been turned over to the 75 of Robert Bears as he makes his way down pit road. So leader pit road. Meanwhile, the battle is still going on back here for 4th and 5th spot. So we see the 28 and the 77 coming down, or coming off of track. They have already completed their green flag stops. Ooh, we see the 77 get a little loose there.
For Caleb Thompson's down and away. 4 tires. Right sides are up on Robert. And left side's going on, so he's going to do 4 tires of fuel. He's going to pull it out with a 13.9.
That will cycle your race lead over to the 68 of downtown James Brown. I would be lying, but it's right on his windshield visor because I put it there. James Brown is out front with a 1.3 second and gaining lead. Is now it's up to, he's going to drop down now as we see the 50 of Michael Tant is being scored in the lead. So I do believe James is now making his way down on pit road as well. So we're going to start seeing a lot more drivers making their way down pit road.
James, long pit stop for him, 24.5.
I imagine he was probably getting the last bit of that optional damage fixed, but at this point, with 33 laps to go, I think I probably could have left a little bit of damage because the rear end of that truck did look pretty straight after the first set of green flag pit stops, but we know how James is. He pulls things out of his butt, so who knows, he can get back up there.
76 Joshua Jones down and away with a 13.8. And just a report from the tower, the 77 of Seth Schultz pulled out a 3-tire stop. So watch for that truck to come around real soon.
We know what happened the last time Seth took 3 tires. Me, Mike, and Seth all died at Talladega. But if it's any consolation, James was part of it because he did come up to block us and stall our line out. But needless to say, 3 tires killed us, so definitely keep an eye on that 77. As we see another truck making his way down pit road right now.
That would be the 29 that gave him McDonald.
Right now, out front, it is the 50 of Michael Tant with a 21-second lead over second place of the 97 of Cameron Hearn.
29 down and away, 4 tires of fuel, 14 flat.
As we're coming to 30 laps to go here at Auto Club, the laps are starting to wind down.
Michael Tant is down and away with a 15.7, a little bit long there. Might have to fire his pit crew.
That's all right. When I come on board next season, back with the Xfinity cars, I'll take him. I suck anyways. Yeah, we finally found a job you could do, Alan. You can be my crew chief. We see another truck on pit road. I believe that's the 3 of Ralph Vandervoort.
That would be the 42, William Woolen.
Now he was involved in that first incident there with the 6 truck of Rodney Kramer. He just had nowhere to go. He ended up with some significant front end damage there. It just hasn't been all too spectacular of a night. Wasn't his doing, but right now he is being scored in 16th position down 3 laps as we have 13 trucks on the lead lap. And we still have 16 trucks out of the 19 that started remaining. So out front, it's the 97 of Cameron Hearn with a 2.3 second lead over second place, the 75 of Robert Barris. The 73 of Chris Ostrander is our third place truck. The 5 of Brad Speidel, 4th. Douglas Hessen, the 31, 5th. Adam Nowinski, 6th. Seth Schultz, 7th. Caleb Thompson, 8th. Cody Franklin, 9th. And James Brown, 10th. As we see 3 wide here between the 42 of William Rulin, the 17 of Cody Franklin, and the 24 of Josue Tellez. You see the 42 moving out of the way to let these lead lap trucks battle it out. Now, we can still see a little bit of damage to the rear end of that 68 truck, but it looks a lot better than it did earlier tonight when he got pounded by the 4 of Caleb Thompson, but there was nothing that Caleb could do right there. Right there is the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between the 75, the 73, and the 5. We're also now looking at the battle for 10th spot between the 68 of James Brown and the 50 of Michael Tan. Well, we are 3/4 of the way through this race here, 25 laps to go. And right now, the truck that everybody is trying to chase down is the 97 of Cameron Hearn, who started on pole tonight. And oddly enough, our first row is still in the same position as they started. So we have the 75 of Robert Barris in 2nd spot.
Seth Schultz down and away with a 14-2.
You see the 73 of Chris Ostrander putting a little pressure there on the back bumper of the 75 of Robert Barris. That is for 3rd spot. If Chris can take it away, that'll put Robert back to 3rd. Meanwhile, we're looking at the 8th place battle here between the 17, the 68, and the 50. Well, I do believe that we have seen the full cycle of green flag pit stops. So everybody should be good to go now the rest of the distance, other than the 24 of Josue Tellus, as we did see that he took a extended pit time, but he did stay out 49 laps, which you cannot complete the race. But who knows? If he was able to run 49 laps, we might actually be able to see him run it the rest of the distance. But while these guys are green flag racing, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then return with the closing laps, as we'll be coming to 20 laps to go here at Autoclub. We are back, and we are still green flag. For those of you just now tuning in, we are live with the Diehard Racing League's Automated Office Technologies Truck Series, live at Autoclub Speedway in, oddly enough, a very chilly Fontana, California tonight, as it's only 78 out. Out front, it's still the 97 of Cameron Hearn with a 2.6-second lead over second place. The 73 of Chris Ostrander behind him. The 75 of Robert Barris. Brad Speidel in fourth. Adam Nowinski fifth. Caleb Thompson sixth. James Brown seventh. Michael Tantz in eighth. Cody Franklin ninth. And Joshua Jones will round up the top 10. And looking at the field, we have 11 trucks on the lead lap. Avery McDonald right now is being scored last truck on lead lap. The 31 of Douglas Hess in 12th right now, if the caution were to come out, is sitting in the lucky dog position. Now just to pull some stats here. Right now we've got 82 laps in the books. Current race leader is Cameron Hearn. We've had 13 lead changes and only one caution for 3 laps. Looking at the current scoring right now, the 97, I don't think anybody has anything for him right now in the long run. As we can see, the gap is pretty much, it gained a little bit, and now it's pretty much stabilizing out between first and second, with now it's opened up to a 3.2 second gap. It'll filter back down to between a 3.1 to a 3 second lead, but with coming to 15 laps to go here, you kind of wonder, is it go time yet? Which, I mean, definitely for me, if I was in second or third right now, I would be trying to push those pedals all the way through the base into the floor, or if they were mounted inverted, I'd be trying to rip him off the rack right now with that gas pedal just absolutely matted. We can see right there, downtown James Brown, waiting in line. As we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer's back on track, so good to see that he was able to make it back. He is currently being scored in the 17th position, and he is down 38 laps. So right now, as it stands, our current lucky dog, should a caution come out here in the closing laps that doesn't end the race, or regardless, the lucky dog position will go to the 77 of Seth Schultz, as he is in 12th position. As now we are down to 10 laps to go here at Auto Club. Cameron Hearn is still leading with a 3.1 second lead over second place of 75 of Robert Barris. Chris Ostrander still holding down that third spot. Adam Nowinski still our fourth place truck, and Brad Speidel in the 5 in fifth position. As we see, he is about to come up on the 10th place truck of Joshua Jones. As we see, he has just lapped the 11th place truck of Avery McDonald. So that'll put 10 trucks on the lead lap, as Cameron is looking to capitalize on it here and drop it down into single digits, as he is going to make the pass. He's trying, but the 76 is trying to rally back as they come out of turn 2 here. But we all see the speed that this 97 has had all night. Directly in front of him, the 42 of William Rulin, who is not for position here, but we see the 97s looking low as they come through 3 and 4. I do believe that we might see the 97 try and use the 42 as a pick if he can. As they come out of turn 2, we see our race leader is going to pinch down the 76 to get him out of the way. But as they go into turn 3, that's going to give the advantage to the 76. But the 42 of William Ruland is going to take it way up to the top so that the leader can get by. So that will put 10th place down a lap. We have 9 trucks remaining on the lead lap with 7 laps to go here at Fontana. Next victim to go a lap down will be the 17 of Cody Franklin.
Cameron Hearn's out in front by just under 2 seconds. We got a battle for 7th place here. 6th place, rather. Michael Tan's trying to take away from him.
So we see the gap has closed down to a 2-second interval between first and second, but with 3 laps to go, I really do not think, unless the 97 slips up, right now it is his race to lose. I do not believe anybody has anything. Cameron, we have seen, if he can get out front and get that clean air, that's all he needs. He's got, I'd actually put him pretty much right on par with Robert as far as skill set. I mean, when he gets out front, he just dominates, just like Robert does. So we've got some very fast drivers
Robert
here.
is closed within a second of him now, though.
Yep. Oh, I knew that saying something would spark a fire underneath somebody, and we've got 8 more corners to decide who it's going to be, whether it's going to be the 97 or if it's going to be the 75 who brings home the checkered flag. So right now we are looking at the lead as Cameron comes to take the white flag here at California. Does Robert have enough truck to make it in 1 lap? White flag is out. All right, as he comes through the final turns here, it doesn't appear that Robert's going to have anything for it, so we're going to see the 97 of Cameron Hearn take home the checkered flag, and for 2 weeks consecutive, we're going to see the 75 of Robert Barris bring it home second. The 73 of Chris Ostrander is going to bring it home in third spot. Finishing fourth tonight, the 28 of Adam Nowinski and Brad Speidel around at the top 5. We will go ahead and get the full race results in before we start bringing our top 3 in. We'll let the guys settle down here a little bit.
Cue the fireworks and get the fat ladies in.
Why are you calling me fat? And word from the officiating tower, tonight's luck of the draw winner is the 5 of Brad Speidel. So congratulations to him. As we see, celebrations are underway with the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Before we get these guys in here, we will get the results up here as everybody's bringing it down pit road. So coming home tonight with the win, starting on pole, we have the 97 of Cameron Hearn coming home second tonight. The 75 of Robert Barris. The 73 of Chris Ostrander is going to bring home third. Adam Nowinski in the 28 fourth. The 5 of Brad Speidel brings it home with the top 5 and also the luck of the draw winner. The 50 of Michael Tant sixth. Caleb Thompson in the 4, 7th. James Brown in the 68, 8th. Cody Franklin, 9th. Joshua Jones in the 76 is going to round out the top 10. 11th goes to the 29 of Avery McDonald's. The 77 of Seth Schultz will bring it home 12th. Ralph Vandervorst in the 3, 13th. Josue Tellis in the 24, 14th. Douglas Hess, 15th. William Rulin, 16th. Rodney Kramer, 17th. Corey Brown, 18th, and it does appear that the 13 of William Morris Jr. did not start the race, so that will do it for the field. With that being said, let's bring in our third place finisher, the 73 of Chris Ostrander. All right, Chris, you brought it home third tonight. I don't think anybody really had anything for the 97 truck. Once he got out there in the clean air, he was gone. But we do know that tires were a very big factor tonight. How did it feel from your standpoint?
Oh, tires were definitely a big factor. I wasn't sure what my strategy was going to be at the beginning of the race, split it up to 2 or 3 stops. But yeah, I tried to pit early a couple times, a couple laps early. It didn't seem to really help me at all, too much, at least not for Cameron. I was able to get by Robert a little bit, those couple runs, but then he got back by me later in the run, so it was a fun race overall.
Definitely made for some interesting battling there as you and the 75 were swapping positions. This is a great turnaround from last week's race at Richmond where it was just an absolute demolition derby.
Yeah.
Things got a little overheated, and we unfortunately had to eject a league member, but great turnout tonight. Everybody held it down. We only had 1 caution for 3 laps. We had, I think, close to 20 lead changes. You bring it home third. That's great in points. Is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Well, I'd like to thank the series sponsor, the league itself, you guys for broadcasting, and all the drivers that show up to make the race what it is. Great race.
Once again, congratulations on that third place finish, and hopefully next week we can see you in Victory Lane.
I hope so. One of these days.
Hey, your time is coming. You're really good behind the wheel. I've watched you race. I see your level of skill, and it's only a matter of time before you put that thing in Victory Lane.
Yep, I hope so. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yep, 10-4.
All right, that was our third place finisher, the 73 Chris Ostrander. Next, we have the, where'd Robert go? There he is. Robert, you brought him home second. Once again, that's 2 weeks in a row. It seems like nobody had anything for the 97. Once he got out there in that clean air, he was gone.
Yeah, I think clean air was worth maybe a tenth a lap. So whoever was out there was in position of control. You saw early on, I got up front and was able to control the first 30 or so laps. Really, that last run there, last pit cycle, was really just who came in first. And yeah, Cameron came in, and I stayed out 2 laps, and ultimately, if you look at the difference in times, it's about 2 seconds, second and a half or so a lap, and so that's really the difference. And then once you get that clean air, then yeah, you're golden. I reeled him back in a little bit. I saw him, trying to get those cars a lap down. They were fighting pretty hard to stay in the lead lap in case caution came out or whatnot. Plus, they were racing between themselves. But good speed tonight. Definitely capable of having winning speed, and that's good. We got some laps led, so that's a bonus point. Just missed pole, but I think we got the points lead for the regular season. That's worth a bonus point. So all in all, it's a pretty decent night.
Now, we do know that tires did play a big factor, especially when we did a test run last night. I know I did a full fuel run, which was around, I think, just shy of 50 laps, and the fall off was roughly about 2.5 seconds. But more importantly, I know your arms aren't as sore as they were at Richmond, but they've got to be hurting a little bit tonight, even though Autoclub isn't so bad in the banking. It's more so the roughness of the backstretch.
Yeah, anybody who has watched any of the real life, NASCAR races at this track, you'll see the cars just bouncing like crazy, especially on that backstretch. For whatever reason, it's just really bumpy. And with the technology that iRacing uses, they get all those bumps. So they're in the sim, and then of course with a direct drive wheel with the power and the fidelity, the speed of those things, all those bumps come through the wheel and kind of shake the whole desk. Kind of the downside to having the setup is you got to deal with all that, but the pros just being the feel, the information that you get. For some people, they don't need that feel. They can drive more by sight or by sound. Like I think Cameron's running an older Logitech wheel, but for me, I do it more by feel, and so that's just a trade-off you have to have with these wheels.
Well, it's back-to-back second-place finishes. As we move into next week, hopefully we can get you up there in the top spot and interview you in victory lane. But nonetheless, you got out there, you led some laps, got the bonus point for that. You brought it home second once again. And as always, who would you like to thank?
Everybody at Diehard Racing League, Diehard Racing TV, iRacing, Automated Office Technologies for getting the bills paid. Everybody who came out to race with us, and hopefully put on a pretty good race, pretty good broadcast for the viewers.
Now, there's definitely an amazing turnaround from last week's debacle at Richmond. You guys put on one incredible show, and as always, we know you were one of the most consistent drivers and one who rarely, if ever, makes a mistake. And when you do, you're the first one to talk about it. So if there wasn't anything that was said during that, I'm going to assume that it was a pretty good race then.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, really the only thing to change is, pitting probably with Cameron to stay equal there. But once he came in, it was kind of like the bed was made, and it was going to be up to him to make a mistake, or for a caution to come out and group us back up. Which, the way the field was spread out, I didn't anticipate that was what was going to happen. So we just had to wait and see if he made a mistake. He didn't. And so that's what we'll get, second place. We'll regroup and see what we can get done next week.
Well, if you keep stringing these top 5 and top 3 finishes together, we're definitely going to be watching for you as we enter into the chase to make it in there for the championship. So once again, congratulations on back-to-back seconds, and hopefully next week we get to interview you from victory lane.
Yeah, I'll see y'all Sunday night. Also, probably see y'all Saturday night for another event I think you guys are doing. So.
Oh, that's right. The Roaring Thunder
well.
at Charlotte.
Yep,
yet another league for you to dominate.
Yeah, hopefully that'll go well, and we'll see how everything goes. I saw those guys had a really good race last week. So we're gonna turn out for that and see how it goes, and then we'll get ready again for Sunday for our stuff.
All right, well, we'll catch you next week. Once again, congratulations on the back-to-back seconds.
Thank you.
All right, that was our second place finisher at the 75 of Robert Barrison. As he mentioned, he will be now in our Saturday night broadcast with Roaring Thunder as we go to Charlotte Motor Speedway for 134 laps. Look for Robert to show his talent there in the K&N car. But now the moment we all been waiting for. Let's bring in the 97 of Cameron Hernan. Alan, I'll let you go ahead and get the first word this time.
Cameron, it looks like you brought it home first, buddy. Long race. You know, you got clean air out there. You were able to drive it away and keep it out there. How do things look from your point of view?
Yeah, it was definitely a long race. I mean, my arms are tired, but caught the apron a couple times. Got a little bit loose, able to save it, but I'm battling this nasty cold all week. But you know, it's always nice to come out on top. But I felt like the race went through some stages. I felt like Robert was real fast at the beginning of the run, the first 30, 40 laps. Then Brad came on really strong in the middle of the run, and luckily me pitting, I think, one lap earlier on the last stop, able to get off pit road and get on the track fast. And I feel like that was the difference right there, just pitting one lap early, kind of getting myself away from everybody.
Well, it definitely seemed like tire management and clean air were the two key factors tonight, as we saw a lot of guys with a lot of different pit strategies, but once you got out in that clean air, you were on a rail. Nobody could catch you, and put on a dominating performance. I do believe you led the most laps with 45, and you started on pole, so that's a triple win right there. Most laps led, win from the pole, so, I mean, there's really no way you could top that. Just utter sheer dominance, great performance. I mean, an amazing turnaround from last week's race at Richmond, where I think everybody's still paying the bills on the bent sheet metal from that one. But you brought it home first. Great job on that. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I think you know, Silverado and Sherwin Williams, my mom and dad, my wife watching. Just got back from a honeymoon, so it's nice to be able to do this, and
congratulations.
she doesn't mind, so it's all good.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on that win. And as we move into next week, hopefully we get to interview you with back-to-back wins.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, that is going to do it with the interviews tonight. Alan, any final words before we put this one in the books?
No, excellent race tonight, guys. You know, we had a lot of nice green flag runs, green flag pit stops. Definitely a good race. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, folks, with that being said, that's going to do it for us tonight. Once again, this has been the Diehard Racing League's Automated Office Technologies Truck Series. 100 laps in the books here at Fontana. Your race winner, once again, the 97 Cameron Hearn. Robert Barris brings it home second. Chris Ostrander third. Adam Nowinski fourth. Brad Speidel fifth. Michael Tant sixth. Caleb Thompson seventh. James Brown eighth. Cody Franklin ninth. And running out the top 10 will be the 76 of Joshua Jones. For everybody here at Diehard Racing League and Diehard Live TV, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.